Hi, today we're talking about rejection. Have you ever been rejected? Have you ever felt rejected? It's a really painful process if you have. And if you have, know that you aren't alone. A lot of us have felt it too. So we're going to explore in this video a little bit about rejection and why it is really important to learn to let that go, to heal it. So I'll see you in the video. Hi, I'm Debbie Clement-Large. I am a life coach. I use spiritual principle as the basis of what I do. I work internationally and I'm the founder of the award-winning Why Follow the Herd, which is a coaching practice with wholehearted principles. So rejection can be a really painful thing to experience. It can be something that we can expect, that can come suddenly, or it can be something that happens over a gradual process where we feel we're being rejected, but it's not formally being done so, if you like. And if you felt rejection, it hurts. And that pain can feel quite deep and it can last a long time if we allow it to. So there are different responses that we can have to that feeling of rejection. It can be easy to want to externalize how we're feeling. I know from my own experience of feeling rejected, I felt rejected over a prolonged period of time by someone I was trusting to teach me. And of course, when you're putting your trust in somebody else, when you are being vulnerable, when you're opening yourself up to inquiry, to learning more about yourself, because you're trusting the other person knows more than what you do and can help you become consciously aware of where you can heal. And when you're in that position, it's like opening a wound. You allow yourself bare as such to just be open to learning and to growing. But also when you feel rejected, that feels painful because you've put so much trust in another person. And it can feel the same when it's a personal relationship, when somebody acts or behaves or does something in a way that leaves you feeling rejected. And that can feel painful certainly when you don't realize that that's what's coming. And rejection could be something that we carry. We can carry it like a jacket. We can wear it. It can become a badge of honor. I feel angry and I am, have every reason to feel angry because of what this other person has done. And I'm going to go around expressing that anger and my displeasure and firing out emotions of blame and of anger and of irritation and of disappointment and of resentment. And I'm going to feel angry with this person and the world even because of what has happened. And it can be easy to spiral into that situation. And if you've experienced that, no, I hear you. Rejection is painful, especially when it is someone that you've put trust in. But when we fire out those feelings of anger or any negative emotion, it is us that is projecting out that anger. It is us that is creating that negative feeling, that which we fire out. It is us feeling that emotion, not the person who we've been rejected by, not the person who has done us wrong in our perception, but we are the one feeling it. And we often do it because we become defensive. When we feel we are being rejected, we want to defend ourselves. And in that defense, we try to explain who we are or what we meant or that they've understood the situation wrongly. And that's how it can come out in a lot of our anger. They're right, I'm right. And we want to change the situation. But of course, we can't control how anybody else thinks. How they think about us is none of our business. But how we think about ourselves is everything. So when we are angry at another person, when we're carrying that anger, we are giving our power away. We're giving it to that person and saying, when they change their mind, when they stop rejecting us, I'll be happy. And we can't do that. The only way we can take our power back is by understanding our own emotions. And that's what I did. That's what I did. My initial response through my recent period of rejection was, it wasn't a rejection that happened suddenly. It was a rejection that happened over time. And nothing was ever formally said about being rejected, but I could feel it. I could feel it was happening, and I could feel that at the end of the teaching, I wouldn't hear from that person again. I could feel what was unfolding just from my own intuition. You may have experienced that yourself too. And at first I felt cross. I felt angry. I felt that I wanted to defend myself and justify my situation, that they had misinterpreted what was going on. I had set clear boundaries about what I was comfortable expressing, and in the situation I was comfortable, but they weren't being listened to. And that is when that relationship started to break down. They didn't respect my boundaries, and I was expressing boundaries. So that rejection came over a period of time. But when I express that anger, it is me expressing that anger. I am feeling it. I'm carrying it in my physicality. I'm feeling it emotionally. So I am reliving the situation that happened. And in reliving that situation, which then has happened in the past, I'm reliving it again now in this present moment. So I am creating a second arrow of suffering. The first arrow was when I first felt it, and now I'm feeling it again. So I'm recreating and refeeling that arrow of suffering. The question is, am I willing to let that go? Because I can carry on with that feeling of disappointment and frustration and anger and relive that over and over again in my life. But what benefit, what positive action will that have on me? Or I can choose to let that go. I can choose to acknowledge it. I can choose to understand it. I can choose to learn from it. I can choose to heal it. And that is what I chose to do. I allowed myself some time to feel it. And because that rejection had been over a longish period of time, I allowed myself some time to think, am I being rejected? Is this really what is happening? This is what my intuition is telling me. Is this really what is happening? And then to feel it, to feel that crossness, to go out and run, to express it physically, to even talk to somebody else, to externalize it, to journal about it, to talk to people I trust. In doing that, I am acknowledging that that is how I feel, and that's okay. What I don't want to do is to wallow in that feeling in the long term, to take that on board. And that's why I'm feeling as I do, because it's their fault. I don't want to live in that way, and nor do you. You don't have to either. So once you've got past from externalizing it, we can acknowledge it and learn from it. Why has that shown up? What can I learn from that situation? What would I do differently? How could I handle that situation in a different way? There is so much to learn. And one of the processes I use is inner inquiry. And I find that such a wonderful process to really get to the root cause of where that rejection has come from. Because it is me feeling that rejection, nobody else. So why am I feeling rejected? And once I have an understanding of what's going on in terms of my perception, my beliefs, why there is that feeling of rejection, I can start to heal it. I can heal it through forgiveness. I can heal it through the practices of letting go. Otherwise, it becomes like a wound that you keep picking at, and it becomes sore and it never heals. So allow yourself some time to feel that element of rejection, to acknowledge it, to understand it. Don't distract yourself from it. When you feel those feelings that we can feel, you know, that anger, that upset, rest in it, stay in it. Don't distract it by putting the telly on or listening to some music or trying to push it to one side, but feel it. When we feel it and understand it, that's when it dissolves. When we distract ourselves and push it away, that's when it comes back up again another time, because we haven't resolved it and healed it. So, are you ready to think about rejections that have gone on in your life? Are you ready to heal? Are you ready to let go? The strength comes from letting go. And actually, when you heal, it feels so much nicer. It's not that you're condoning somebody else's bad behavior, but you're letting it go. You're no longer allowing it to affect you, because you don't. You have the choice how you feel in each and every wonderful moment, and you can choose to be happy irrespective of what is going on around you and irrespective of somebody else's bad behavior. So I'd love to know in the comments, what are you going to do about letting go and healing rejection? I'd love to know how rejection has shown up in your life and how you have dealt with it in the past and how you might deal with it going forward. It's all about being gentle and loving with ourselves. So like this video, I'd love to know what you think about it. Share it. There are so many of us that have felt rejection at some point in our lives. That can be in a big way, it can be in a small way. And we all can really benefit from learning how to heal that rejection in a greater way. Also subscribe so that you receive notifications and can learn some great tools and tips for your own personal journey going forward. If you want to learn more, or you want to be more about coaching, about my online programs, or any about my inner circle coaching, you want to have a look at whyfollowtheherd.com. It would be great for you to be part of the community. Or even if you just want a bit of positive to drop into your inbox on a Monday morning, then you can sign up for that at whyfollowtheherd.com/positive. So I look forward to hearing from you and knowing how this video has helped you to move forward. And have a wonderful week. And I look forward to sharing some new stuff with you next week. Have a really good week. See you then.